Hi, this is Jackie.
This is Diana.
And you're listening to Homebodies Only as we dissect and break down HBO series. And we are back. We did Scenes from a Marriage, and now we're back with something much lighter, The Sex Lives of College Girls.
Ooh.
And Mindy Kaling is a writer. Well, actually, I think she really created it on this, as well with a co-writer, Justin Noble, who's a writer on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I never watched that show.
The Office, of course.
Yes.
Fun gal.
She had her own show. I forgot what it was called. The first episode here is called Welcome to Essex.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts out, we don't see anything. It's all black. And we hear it's obviously two people going at it. We hear a girl say, I want to F you so bad. And the guy says something back. And they're kissing.
Of course, this would happen on a campus drop-off day, right? It's in broad daylight. Mm-hmm.
Broad daylight, when everybody's
on an Ivy
with
League
their
school campus, with parents. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That made me laugh a little bit.
Yeah. And they're at a lamppost, broad daylight, right? So a minivan pulls up. We see a woman. She's like, "Excuse me, can you stop? We're trying to drop our daughter off at school. I can see her erection." And the mom was like, "Mom." Yeah. The next scene is the actress's name is Aaliyah Chanel Scott. She is Whitney Chase. She is in a nice car, like a black Escalade, I think.
Yep.
With her mother, and her mom's like, "You really had to go to school 3,000 miles away." And, Vermont is not even a state. It's a bunch of potheads making maple syrup. And the mom clearly is important, and she's getting phone calls, and she's ignoring them. She's like, "Oh, nothing's more important than my daughter." And, her daughter mentions to Whitney how she's excited or glad she could be with her, and it's important they're together. Mm-hmm. And then she finally answers it. And Jackie is on the other line, but it's not me.
It was you.
Yeah, it was me.
You were just giving your senator friend a shout out.
That's right.
Quick.
And it's CNN. So she's like, "Oh, put him through." totally just ignores the whole part.
CNN is more important than her daughter.
Than her daughter.
At the pot maple syrup from university.
That's it. Next we see, her name is, on the show is Bela, and she's played by Amrit Kaur. I'm not sure how to say her last name. Kaur. She is wearing a red and black plaid skirt and this embroidered cute sweatshirt and tights. And they're standing outside the dorm, and the mom pulls up this teddy bear, Mr. Busby.
Oh,
and says, "Look who I have." And she's like, "Mom, I'm 18 in the middle of a reinvention." And the dad's like, "Oh, the reinvention again." And she said basically, 3 months ago, in high school or whatever, she had cystic acne, glasses, and sweaty armpits, and she got Lasix. She went on Accutane and got Botox in her armpits, and now she's quote unquote normal. And then mom asks, well, and she compares it to Ben Affleck getting the Phoenix Rising tattoo and everything. And then mom asks if she should throw Mr. Busby away, and she's like, "No, of course not. Put it on the shelf." And she back at home, and she kisses him on the nose. Not yet a woman, not a girl, but not yet a woman, as Britney Spears would say.
Just that inner conflict.
Yeah. Next we see Kimberly, played by Pauline Chalamet, and the dad is crying.
Dad was my favorite by far.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, "You're the first Finkel to go to college." And FYI, I have her backpack. I have it in olive green. I don't know what that means. I'm 46, and I have a backpack like a college student. So, okay.
Young at heart.
Young at heart.
It's all
there
good.
We go. She's wearing blue and white striped sweater, jeans. I mean, most of the girls are they're wearing jeans and sweaters.
Pretty casual.
Normal college attire, right? So the mom, I don't know if she asked the mom to intervene, but the mom comes in and tells dad to go inside and get himself together.
Was this when he was trying to push all the
Not yet. They're just,
okay.
I don't know where he went, to be honest, but he walks away. I don't know if he's bringing stuff in. That's later though. The mom, her name is Nicole Sullivan. She's played by Nicole Sullivan. And fun fact, I really recognized her because she was on the classic Sesame Street special called all-star alphabet. She played the letter A. Steve Colbert played the letter Z. It's fantastic. It was like the first thing my son, I don't know if he was 2 at the time, really paid attention to, and I was psyched about that. Yeah.
Right. And
got a little
you know
break.
what? I just remembered where I recognized her from.
What?
The King of Queens.
Oh.
She was the neighbor, the dog walker.
Oh, see, I didn't watch that show.
Her
that
character
much.
was so funny in that show. Did you watch that show? Because it's hysterical.
No, like,
yeah, it's like
I would
90s
catch
sitcom,
it. I would catch it once in a
Yeah.
while. Yeah, no.
It took me a while. And anyway.
Yeah.
She was in Arthur. Anyway, I'm getting
That's
off
probably
topic,
what
but-
most people know her from, but I knew
They
her
probably
from
know her
Sesame
from King of
Street.
Queens.
Yeah. So
And Sesame Street.
she was
Listen, I love
phenomenal
a good-
in the Sesame Street
great.
special. She played a very snotty letter A. I
could get down with
recommend
that.
it, actually.
I'm pretty snotty as an A, too. Or I would be.
You would be, totally.
Give me an A.
It's a very
You've
important
got
letter.
your A. Sorry. Back on track.
Yeah. So then a car pulls up, and it's very, for lack of a better term, the guy looks like a Guido from Jersey. I'm just going to say
Jersey Shore.
blasting music. It's a sports car. I don't know what it was because I couldn't catch it. And she's staring at him, and the mom's like, honey, you're going to meet a lot of different people. And she's like, are you saying that because they're Middle Eastern? And she was like, no, rich people. Caleb from their town, because they're from a small town in Arizona apparently,
right.
white town. Caleb went to Penn or something and got in with these friends and ended up, these rich friends, and got addicted to coke and became a prostitute. She's like, Mom, I'm not going to become a prostitute. All right. Next we see Leighton, played by Renee Rapp, who looks like a combo. What did you think? Combo.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So she reminded me right off the bat. I was like, oh, okay. So we're a combination of Alicia Silverstone, Cher from Clueless, and
Mean
who
Girls.
else?
Is
And
her
a
name
little Mean Girls.
What's her name?
Regina. It
Regina.
took me a second there, yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it was like classic, like
Totally.
too molded into her.
And she's wearing a tweed,
Yeah.
blazer. Again, nothing like all the other college
Anybody
students on
else,
campus, right?
Clearly
and her
from Manhattan, right?
Yes. Or who knows where, because no. I don't even think girls in Manhattan are wearing clothes like that.
This is true.
Yeah. She's her
I don't
own
see a lot of
unique
girls down
person.
in Manhattan wearing tweed,
No.
but I digress.
Yeah. So Rob Hubel plays her dad. Fun fact, he was in a comedy group called Upright Citizens Brigade, so was my husband, the famous David Hansel, but no, not really. And when he was in the group, I believe we saw Robster, they did some improv. It was a show we went to. He's done other stuff too. I don't know.
He's in that comedy world, right?
Yes.
So to speak.
Yes. He's probably friends with Mindy, I'm thinking.
And Dave, and you're gonna
and
have
Dave, my husband,
pie and coffee, and
all the time.
get an autograph or two. And
So
Dave's, I gotta get Dave's autograph.
So Leighton's dad loves New England. He's like, I love New England, and that's his alma mater. Essex is his alma mater. Then Leighton makes fun of him and says, it's like you want to have sex with New England, and he's like, that's not possible. And you could tell he's thought about it. He has thought about it.
Idea.
He could have tried even. I'm not sure exactly how you do that, but
I don't think anybody could love New England more than that man.
No. No.
Deep-hearted love.
Yeah. So she's excited. She's going to be rooming with her high school friends, Esme and Francesca. She calls them her soulmates. And Dad says, like Francesca abandoned her in Cape Cod one time. And she's like, well, her dad got audited. And he's like, they're kind of a-holes. And she's like, don't call my friends a-holes. And she's happy about it. She wants to be with them. And he's like, all right. All right. So then we see Kimberly. She sees a group of boys, men, whatever. Well, they're men, but they're supposed to be boys in the show. They're played by, I think, 30-year-olds. And they're running by without shirts on because that was normal. Sweaty, looking good, though. Like, definitely.
Yeah, when I was dropped out of college, that's exactly how it was. There was sweaty, hot guys running
around with shirts off.
Actually, no.
Yeah.
I was sweating myself, carrying up hot pots,
nervous,
and
wanting
trunks
the parents
of clothes
to leave.
and things, and Teddy's.
Yeah.
No, like teddy bears. Not
teddy bears.
Sorry.
So he's, of course, it's in slow motion. She's watching him, and he does look at her, and she's just like, and then he looks away, and they're playing the 80s music, something like that. And then it stops, and her mom's like, I think her mom interrupts it or something. But then they
Mom's probably staring too, let's be honest.
Oh, come on. Hello.
He's of age.
Yeah. So then Kimberly actually comes into the suite. Oh, God, maybe that's what happened, but there was no transition. I don't know. And she introduces her parents. She's like, I'm Bela, and this is Whitney and Leighton. And she points to her parents, and Kimberly's like, what? She's like, just kidding. Like, she's the comedy nerd. She's got to make her joke.
Oh, man.
She's like, just kidding. They're my Indian parents. And then Kimberly's parents were like, we're Irish. And the dad's like, there's an Indian restaurant in our town, but I've never eaten there, because he apparently has some bowel issues.
Yeah, that
he talks about. He can't eat tacos.
Exactly what we would share in our first meeting.
Yeah,
about his diverticulitis or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. Nervous bowels. So then Kimberly sees her Seth Meyers poster. Bela put a Seth Meyers poster up, and she's like, "Oh, he's like a double threat, a writer and a comedian, and writer on SNL and a comedian." And she's like, "I want to have sex with him, but I also want to be him." And Kimberly's just like, "Okay." So then they're talking about, they can't believe Whitney Chase, the senator's daughter, is going to be their roommate. And Kimberly is so excited. She bought a constitution for the senator to sign, which I thought was really funny. Bela says, like, wouldn't that be crazy if it's like 2 years from now, we're still rooming together and she's the president? And Kimberly's like, well, no, I don't think she's that respected. She's respected enough to be president. And as she says it, of course, who walks in but the senator?
The senator.
She's like, oh, really? Her name's Yvette Chase, by the way. And
she looks familiar, too.
Yes, she's been in
from
stuff.
Something.
Oh, my gosh. I should look this stuff up next time.
Yeah.
Kimberly's mom actually bows, because I actually watched this twice. Kimberly's mom bows when she introduces her.
And whole family is just...
Yvette goes, you don't have to bow.
Oh, my gosh.
So then, where are we here? So then she tells, there's a man there, like a bellhop, basically, like bringing, it's probably the driver, bringing the bags up, and she's like, close the door to talk privately. She wants to talk privately. But then they go to Dad and Leighton coming in. They're like in an archway, I think, kind of walking in, and he's like, oh my God, one night I had too many White Russians. I threw up out of that window. And she's like, Dad, you know. And he's like, you're going to love it here. And she actually smiles really big. I think it's one of the nicest smiles I've seen on her so far. And she says, yeah, I already do. Now they go back to the senator talking to them. And she's like, I don't want to hear about, you guys running around campus naked.
Like a staff meeting.
Yeah. And she's like, don't embarrass me. And she's like, or you're dead to me, basically. And then she's like, maybe stay off Twitter for the next 4 years. So then Leighton walks in, and Kimberly runs up to her and hugs her. And it's like, you must be Leighton. And Leighton's like, who the F are you? And she's like, and actually her dad was like, Leighton. And she said, something's wrong. She was supposed to room with, like, where's Francesca and Esme? They don't know who she's talking about. And so then she goes to the room. She finds Esme and Francesca's room. She opens the door, and there's a third roommate named Siddhartha wearing odd clothes, like a blouse
totally
and a vest. Very opposite of Leighton and a lot of young college girls on that campus. But anyway, she looked cute and happy. So then they go outside to talk, and they talk about, I think they talked about her, like, is that when they talked about, no. I'm trying to remember. I think they're just saying, like, must be a clerical error. But were they talking about that at that point, about her wall up? Or is that later on?
No, that was later on.
Okay. So, also,
like, we don't even know who you are, that whole thing with the wall up. That was later.
Okay. So, also, I just want to say what she's wearing. She's wearing shorts. At first, I thought it was a skirt, but she's wearing shorts with the matching blazer, and then these, like, big clunky boots and a belt, like, really, really clueless going here.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And the roommates did talk about, they were also like, well, you're not such a great writer, like maybe in the application or whatever. And the dad's like, she wrote a eulogy for her grandmother. There wasn't a dry eye in the place. And he's like, see, a-holes. And he like screams around that. It was kind of funny. Next, this is funny. So Bela, they're saying like bye to their parents. And Bella's like, don't follow me on social. She says that to her parents, which is really funny. And let's see. Then they go to, and they were like making sure Kimberly's dad was okay because he was trembling.
Oh,
when he
poor guy.
Then he was crying. They go to a like floor meeting, and there's a man there. He's Swedish. He has a pretty thick Swedish accent. He is their FAF. He is their freshman advisor and friend. He's their FAF. Oh,
not
just to let you know. No, he's not an RA because I think this guy's
we
too
didn't
old.
have FRAFs or whatever.
No.
My school was not.
I did not have a
SUNY school. So we just had
I went to a SUNY school too. So
RAs. Yeah. Such a downgrade.
I think ours was also called a multicultural assistant, and I'm not kidding. He also was that.
Oh. Yeah. All right. Many hats.
Yes.
Free room and board.
Yes. So he wants to do an icebreaker. He's like, let's share a time when we felt scared. And he says, I'll go first. There was an avalanche during a family reunion. I think in the Swedish Alps. And I might be making that up. And he lost family members. And everyone's just like,
wow,
okay.
This is welcome to college.
Yeah. Then there's a girl in a wheelchair. And she's like, I'm scared of my stalker. And she said that she's like quite a big TikToker. Well, yes. Malia, right? Obama follows her. So then they all look her up. Malia. Mm-hmm. And she has 200,000 followers. And like, oh my God. Then Kimberly confesses she is nervous about her job interview. She has an on-campus job interview. She really needs it. And the guy, and he's like, oh, don't be nervous. I'm sure that, there's plenty of kids who have on-campus jobs. He's like, who else here has an on-campus job? No one. No one raises their hand. Yeah. So Leighton actually starts to kind of protest the whole thing. Yeah, work study.
Work study, remember that?
Yes. I think this pays a little better than work study. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Perhaps. Maybe there's tips involved when we find out where
that's true. That's true. Leighton starts to like protest the whole thing of talking about their fears. And this guy stands up and he's like, I'm gay. And he said that he didn't come out in high school. Mm-hmm. And he said starting today, he would, he was going to be out in college. So then the FAF, then another guy says, I'm gay and I'm from Oklahoma. But I've been out since I was 12, but it's been really hard living in alcoholic, living in Oklahoma. And so he's like, let's welcome our new gay friends. And everyone starts clapping. So it's funny. Because Leighton was going to protest and say it was like stupid probably, but then it like was a big deal. So now they're in the cafeteria and Kimberly asks why they all picked Essex. And Bela says the Catullin, which we find out is this college comedy writing magazine. And there's been, I think, people from SNL who wrote on this magazine. It could really further a career in comedy. Mm-hmm. So then Kimberly says, well, I picked Essex because it's prestigious. I plan to graduate summa cum laude, go to a tier 1 law school, and then Max and her, who is her apparently her high school boyfriend, are going to move to D.C. and become a power couple like Kamala and Doug. And then she asks if anybody else is in a relationship, and Bela says, oh, she doesn't want to be tethered, to any guy. And she says, what else did she say? She's like, I am she's not that I had a boyfriend in high school, but she's like, I am sex positive and ready to smash some D's. And she makes some noise. She's like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
She does like something like that. It was cute.
She's ready to get out of her cage for sure.
Yes, she is.
She was on lockdown wherever she came from.
Yeah. So then Kimberly says, oh, well, Max, we're waiting. Max wants to wait, not for any weird reason or anything. And they're like, what? What are you talking about? And like Whitney references, is he into the drag races or something? She's like, oh, no, but I know. And then she's like, what? And Leighton says, boys are born ready. Like, what do you mean?
Right.
Something's not right. So then she says, well, I know he'll be worth the wait because people tell him he looks like Shawn Mendes. And everyone's like, or Bella's like, ooh, something. Yeah.
Can't wait to meet this guy.
Yeah. Then Whitney's a soccer player. So we see her on the field. She looks like she's really good, you know, and there's this other girl there that's like giving her dirty looks and stuff. And then she does a really good job. She gets all around everybody. You know, I don't play soccer, so I don't know all the terms. And she ends up getting a goal. And she's like, yes. And the one coach looks great, you know, very happy. And then the assistant coach is like, she's good. She gets into the locker room and she meets basically, I don't know how she didn't know her since they've been playing on the team, I think, for a while, but she didn't know her name, and her name's Willow. And Willow has a rainbow sticker in her locker, and at first jokes around like she doesn't know what it means, but she's like, no, I'm gay or whatever. Then Whitney hears the girl who was like, I don't know what you want to say, tangled with her when they were playing, talking smack and saying she's a freshman. She only gets to play because of who her mom is. So then Whitney goes in to talk to the coach, you know, and she's like something like, I have a real problem. So you think she's going to talk about the girl talking about her. And she's like, I want to F you so bad. And we find out she is having a relationship with the coach. Then he's like, we have to be careful, whatever.
So you wonder like what the timeline was really, because typically if you play sports in college, like you're there first, but we see her getting dropped off with the mom, and it seemed like it was all on the same day. Anyway, it was just weird. It's because I just remember everybody that I went to college with who played sports went back earlier, and they were living on campus before anybody else. Yeah,
unless she like met her mom at the airport. I don't know. It's very confusing.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Who knows?
But then
these little details.
These little details we don't know. We don't know. Whitney, like, where was she living then? If she was playing soccer on, I don't know. So then what happens? Where am I here? Oh, well, Kimberly gets her job. She has a really nerdy boss.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, you seem so nice. And the other employees are having bad attitude. And he's like, let's say what we think is funny at the same time on the count of three. And he says Avenue Q, which isn't that a Broadway show about
something?
Maybe not. I don't know.
What?
Definitely not funny. I didn't think it was funny.
I don't
he
think
says Avenue Q. But maybe I'm thinking of Rent.
Okay.
But I don't think it's a comedy. I don't know. I could be wrong. Then she says memes. You know, I don't think she knows what to say. She says memes. And he's like, oh. So he introduces her as that she loves memes to the other employees. She's like, no, I have, among other hobbies. The other coworkers definitely don't look thrilled, like to meet her or the guy about the boss, anything. And she looks around. She's like, I'm so excited to work here. And she looks around and sees the blackboard. She's like, oh my gosh, we could like every day we could change it and decorate it. Like, we should put leaves on it for September. And the boss is like, that's a great idea. Leela. He picks Leela. So it's Leela and Kanan. Leela, I see you doodling. You come in early. And she's like, why me? She's the one who suggested it. Oh, and that's when he's like, I always see you doodling or something.
Yeah.
Then we have Leighton at the housing office.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, the woman's like, what's your last name again? She's like, Murray, you know, next door is the Murray Library. And the woman's like, I slipped there last winter and broke my tailbone. She's like, sorry about that, but, you know, help me out. There must be a glitch in the system. They were assigned to some random girl with weird clothes. She does say that, which I found funny because I thought she had weird clothes on too. She says, bless her heart. She comes to find out.
Again, she's dressed like a lawyer, you know.
Yes, totally dressed like Legally Blonde, right?
Legally Blonde.
Cher, yeah. Black, I think that's the black sweater. I don't know.
Anybody who was blonde in a movie or, I don't know.
So the woman goes over there. They were very compatible. Like on the questionnaire that they filled out, they were like 99% compatible. But then she
like
said,
flipped the screen. Right.
Yeah. She goes, oh, they had a special request. And it was, we do not want to room with Leighton Murray. So she's like, So then we go to Bela. She's meeting there's a meeting for that Catellan. And they're in like a lecture center or something. And there's two guys on the stage. And there's one with glasses and one who doesn't have glasses. The one who doesn't is a blonde. I don't know what their names are. And the guy with the glasses is like, he's like, Catalan is the most selective group on campus. And then someone's like, well, what about a cappella? And he's like, F a cappella. Like, he's really angry.
He's got quite the ego in this.
Oh, he's the angry comedy nerd, you know? And
yeah,
he's
but
like,
it's kind of like, it's a little over the top.
Over the top, yeah. But I have a feeling there are people like that.
I know. That's probably pretty truthful.
Yeah, and then he gives like the specs, like what you have to do. And he's like, 600 words, no puns. I'm serious. You know, he's like really angry about the puns. And he's like, and then he shows them a video. He's going to show them a video of alum writers or alum Catalan people. And the first guy comes on. He's like, I was on the Catalan last year, and now I'm a writer's assistant on an animated show. And it says about a white suburban family. Yeah, right. Right. He said that. It was fun. And she's like, Bela's like, holy, you know, beep. And the people are like, she's just like so excited. Yeah. It means a lot.
More than anybody.
More than anybody else.
Auditorium.
Yeah. Who looks like they're 45 years old, by the way. The extras are very old in this show.
Come on, casting.
I know. So
even the characters, like I looked up, the only one who's actually, the youngest one is Leighton.
Oh, and
she's 21. Everybody else is like anywhere from 24 to maybe 29 years old playing 18-year-olds. Hey, it's great.
Hey, and I have the backpack at 46.
And,
so
yeah, I mean, and you look 20. So there you go.
Not right now. Okay.
You had a little concealer on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Some makeup.
No, you look fabulous.
Thanks. All right.
Anyway, back to the program here.
Yeah, where am I? Okay. So then we're back to Kimberly, and she had seen like Kanan and Leela like joking around and stuff, and you could tell she's looking off, not, you know, feeling left out. So she goes up to Kanan and she wants to be friends with him. She's like, do you like Jay-Z? And he's like, yeah. You know, she's like, I think his music is dope. And he's more like a prophet or something.
It's like she looked up like on YouTube or something.
I know.
Like how to like,
I don't know.
Be cool.
So bad.
I don't know.
So then she's like, it's really exciting for me to have a black friend. Or is it African American? He's like, oh, it's black. She's like, what's it like being black at Essex? I was like, oh my God. So he's like, it's hard.
Yeah.
You know, I've never touched cashmere and people don't understand. And you know, he's
every stereotype that you
BSing.
could think of or something about.
Yeah. And he's like, my mom's addicted to crack and I have 3 on-campus jobs. And then he's like, well, you know, Leela has it even worse. But he doesn't say. He just says Leela has it worse. So Leighton confronts her friends, quote unquote. And they say, that's when they say, sorry, that they felt like they were friends with a stranger. And there's this wall up and, wall with you. And she's like, I don't care. And they're like, open up more. And she's like, F you both. I hope an air conditioner falls on you.
It's a good line.
A window unit? Yeah.
Yeah. Because those are at Essex, right?
Probably.
I mean, your tuition is probably more than the mortgage on my house.
Right. But I'm sure they don't have central
I'm sure
air.
You have
it's
air.
old. It's old. They don't have central air.
Maybe they do have the old-fashioned window units.
Yeah.
Coming in.
I mean,
good point.
Yeah. There must be the story behind that one. So then next they're back. They're all back, I guess, at the suite. We see Leighton in bed, you know, like no makeup on. Looks kind of like me right now, like hair is a mess. She has it in a bun though, which is better than what I've got going on.
Got a messy bun going.
Yeah. Kimberly walks in.
Very dark.
Very dark.
She's got the dark blinds on or whatever. Like
and it's
room
it
darkening
is nighttime.
Curtains.
Yes. And I think she brings her a burrito.
Yes.
And she's like, yeah, I'm not going to eat it.
The coffee shop?
Probably.
So I don't know how that's working out.
I don't know.
Let me know how your coffee shop
So then she's like, hey, we're playing Uno out there if you want to join us. And she's like, that's worse than getting a pap smear. I was like, oh, wow. Okay.
Another great line.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
You know, there's not too many things worse than a pap smear. I'm just saying.
No. I mean, I could definitely
a mammogram? I mean, just throwing it out there. There's a couple of my favorite things to do every year.
That's worse, actually, because it's longer. Sorry. It's going to TMI. Yeah. Not going to get into this. All right.
I'd rather play Uno, just saying.
Yeah. I'll play Uno.
Anytime.
5 times in a row.
Yeah.
It's fine with me.
Yeah.
So they're in this common room, and Bela offers up her. She's like, I'll lend you my clothes, bras and undies included, and I would like to borrow yours. And they're all just like, what? On the coffee table is popcorn and I believe some Tabasco sauce. At first, I thought it was nail polish. I was just like trying to see what's going on there. Thought that was interesting, and how nice the common room furniture is.
Well, yeah. I mean, you went to a SUNY school, right? I mean, it was like the old school 80s like library furniture.
Yeah,
like
and
the wood sides.
Yeah.
And you had like the orange fabric cushions that really weren't comfortable.
Maybe that was from the 70s, because that was like, I know we didn't go to the same SUNY school, but I had that going on at mine. So maybe like it was, I mean, I went to school in the 90s.
Yeah. A bulk order that they got from the 70s.
Maybe it was new when I was there.
I'm pretty sure that there's people that go there now. They're like, there's like new buildings now and it's all modern and they have all,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
better
nice,
stuff.
We used like blankets to cover up and provide cushion. To sorry.
It's okay.
And let's not talk about the mattresses that they get, looking back, I'm like, how did my parents how did I allow myself?
I don't know.
I think I got like one of those zip up bags too, and like a egg crate and.
Yes, egg crate. Ugh. Everybody did all the stuff they could to
just think
make it better.
Yeah. I'm making myself sick.
Yeah. Put them
thinking about how many people probably slept on that mattress before I did.
Oh, yeah. That is gross.
Quickly moved out of on-campus housing to a house with some people the next year.
I didn't.
Brought my own bed and everything.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, back to the show.
So, Nico comes in and they all start drooling, and Bela thinks, he asks for Leighton, and Bela thinks that's, that they're together, and she's like, oh my God, you make a hot couple, and he's like, she's my sister, I'm her brother or whatever, and she's like, oh, then we're family, and like she hugs him, of course, and she's like, you feel like a statue, and he just like laughs.
He's easy on the eyes.
Yes. Then Leighton and Nico are out on a balcony. Not a balcony. It's like, I don't know, sort of beautiful.
Like a terrace?
It's like, but it's long.
Not a terrace.
I don't know. It's called something else. But they're leaning on like this beautiful railing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Cement or whatever it is, probably marble.
Her dad probably built it or something.
Yeah, paid for it at least. He's like, your high school friends were a-holes. Like, same thing that her dad said. He's like, I don't talk to anybody from high school, and she's like, he doesn't need to. Everyone wants to be friends with him, and he's like, oh, come on, and she's like, I'm a. What does she say? She says something like, basically like mean or something, and with hormonal skin. He's like, your face looks great. She's like, I have great concealer. It's great concealer. It's like really funny delivery.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I think she said people were scared of her, and he's like, come on, you're going to crush Essex. You're a good person with all your bad qualities. Oh, and then he mentions Corey, keeps asking about her. So what should I tell him? And she's like, tell him to not discuss, I'm not discussing my dating life with my brother.
Right.
And then he says, like, her roommates all seem perfectly nice. And she's like, that's because they all want to sleep with you. And he's like, yeah, I know.
But, yeah. At least he's honest about it.
Yeah. So then Kimberly, I think we see a door, and then Kimberly comes out. She's like, ugh, and she changed into her pajamas in the closet because doesn't know. Whitney's like, did you just change in the closet? And she says, well, she's like, I've never lived with anyone. I don't know what to do. And
it was like being in middle school, right? Remember those days
in the locker room
when you had to go into the locker room for the first time and change for PE class,
and all you're trying to do
put your shirt on over your other
shirt,
to slide it on. Oh my gosh, the embarrassment!
And no one's
trying to get there first. I wouldn't think
anyone was looking at anybody because they're all worried about themselves.
Yeah, and you were like sandwiched into the like little locker side, trying to block people from seeing you or making fun of you. Oh my gosh,
poor kids. Poor kids.
Yeah, that's Kimberly basically stuck in middle school.
Yeah,
poor thing.
So then,
probably an only child. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't think she mentions.
No offense to people that are only children, but I don't think she has a sibling. That poor father. There's no way there's another one.
No, probably not.
He can't handle it.
So then Whitney asks her, I guess, says something about Nico, but I must have missed something that Whitney said, or it's something that Kimberly said, and she's like, I love Max. And then she's like, what about you with Nico? When he's like, I don't like boys, I like men.
Right.
She likes the coach. So now we're back at Sips, and Kimberly goes up to Leela, and I don't know, I think she's like, I really admire you or something like that for what you have to, I don't know, for
what you're going through or whatever.
What you're going through. And she thinks Leela had a baby and the dad is in jail. Mm-hmm. And Leela's like, what are you talking about? And then she realizes that Kanan was lying, and like she like gets mad at him, and I don't know, they're laughing, I think, and they might, I don't know if they say they're sorry, but then he lies to her again. Oh, and then Leela's like, well, you know, Kanan's brother went from a promising football star to a gang, and she believes him again, but then realizes they're lying. So she's getting in a little bit with them.
So gullible.
They're messing with her, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's lightening up a little bit.
Yes. So then Whitney and that girl are on the, soccer field, and basically the girl is really like grabbing at her, whatever, aggressive. And then, so Whitney, I think, like pushes her, and they kind of, I think, start to go at it a little, and they call that girl off the field, basically. Like only she gets in trouble, and Whitney doesn't. And Whitney is PO'd, and she confronts the coach. She's like, I can fight my own battles, don't need you doing that, because people think I'm favored because of my mom. Then Bella's on campus, and she runs into the nerdy, angry nerd guy in charge of Catalan with the glasses. Ugh. And she's like, talking to him. And he's like, he basically tells her not to get her hopes up. They already have 2 females on the staff. And
yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's disgusting. He's like, we have we have like
siblings
of alumni and all that. And he's like, but there's other, improv groups on campus. There's the pot stickers who are Asian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Punch him in the face.
Yeah. Next scene is Leighton buys them all iPads.
Oh, yeah. To say she's sorry.
She is wearing jeans in this scene, so maybe she's relaxing
a little casual. She was out shopping.
A little casual, yeah. True. And she says she's sorry. Good point. She says she's sorry. She called, I think, Bela tacky, Kimberly podunk, and Whitney new money jock. And they're like, you never said that. She's like, oh, I didn't? It's kind of funny. There's a knock on the door. Leighton answers, and kind of a nerdy looking guy is standing there. And she's like, we're not donating to like your environmental group or something. And he's right. Then Kimberly's like, Max. And I just wanted to point out, there's Christmas trees now on the door with their names on them. Maybe not Christmas trees. They're pine trees. And I just thought that was interesting, because they've only been there like,
right? Maple syrup.
But there was foxes on there previously. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe
we'll figure out a theme as we go along.
Either that,
maybe the RA /
FAF
coordinator.
FAF
puts little FAF treats on there. Yes, FAF.
FAF. I was thinking that maybe they originally filmed that and they thought it was going to be Christmas time, but there was no Christmas tree.
Let's stay tuned.
Yeah. So we find out that it is Max, Kimberly's Shawn Mendes boyfriend, lookalike.
That looks
not
at
like, all. No,
not even nothing.
No, nothing.
Zero.
I mean, he has poofy hair. Like, if you want to say Shawn Mendes has like thicker.
Okay.
That's about it.
No.
But no, it's bad. It's bad. No. Yeah, it's not good.
It's a big no for me.
Yeah. So he took the train up from Princeton, totally surprised her. He's like, I'm staying for the weekend. And the roommates are like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I left my credit card, Princeton. So I'm really hungry. So clearly.
I totally had a roommate when my first year in college too. It's so funny when we were talking about this and I rewatched this part. I had like a suite, and like the girl that I was roomed with or whatever, she had this boyfriend that was much older, and he would come visit for the weekend and like eat all of our food.
There's always that one.
It was like really awkward, and he was like 10 years older than her. We're 18, 19 years old, and he was like later 20s. Maybe not 10 years, but still, he was like definitely like older.
Later 20s is old when you're.
He had like a real job,
college.
I think, and he would come for oh my gosh, and it was so weird. And she had like satin sheets, silk sheets, and it was so weird. I'm sorry.
Oh,
hope she was listening. I don't even remember her name. So
well, she might, because we're pretty popular,
She was very nice, but man, it was so weird when he would come to visit. I would stay in like another friend's.
Oh,
but anyway,
yeah.
he was a moocher, just like this guy, in my opinion.
There's always one.
There's always one.
There's
right?
always that one like boyfriend.
Gotta play the part.
Yeah, does
Man,
that.
It'd steal my hot pot and make an Easy Mac or something in it. Oh,
yeah,
ramen. All my Cheerios, cinnamon toast crunch. Man. Better not take my shower,
Diana.
Kennedy.
Okay. Sorry, I brought you to that place. I brought you to this place.
Really
Okay.
Dark
so now
place.
they're in the cafeteria, and Bela is mentioning the Catellan is having a 20s party, and she didn't really understand what it was. And Leighton's like, you basically have to dress up like a 20s SLUT. And
I was thinking the outfits, though, at this party.
Yeah. No,
getting ahead.
They went all out.
That's okay. They went all out. Girls.
Catellan, you know. But Kimberly is like, you just have to, she's like, how am I going to get in? She's like, you just have to be yourself. Oh, no, when she heard about the two females, when she said, there's only, you know, the guy told her she really has no shot of getting on the Catellan. She's like, you need to report this to like the AFLC or something like that. Some kind of group, you know, obviously protects, you know, the whole thing. And Leighton's like, no, you just need to make them like you, you know. And then Whitney's like, I kind of agree with Leighton. So she goes to the 20s party, and she's wearing this very cute red flapper dress and has this little headband on, and she looks really good, and she's all happy. And she goes up to the blonde guy, and she's starting to talk to him about like her ideas and stuff. And he's like, this is a waste. He's like, I'm really high right now, so this is a waste of time. He's like, you could go over there. And he points to these like six guys.
On like a landing of a staircase or something.
Yeah, that are, I guess, on the committee. I don't know, the decision-making committee.
The board.
Yeah. So she ends up doing a job on each of them with her hand. And and she comes home back to the suite, and she's like, yeah, and like bragging about it and saying like, you know, men have objectified women for, I think, is this when she says tens, maybe hundreds of years?
No, I think that's when.
At one point. Oh, that's another part.
I feel like that's on the second episode. Just saying, if you went ahead. When she,
it was just very funny. And she's like, something script, and she's like, sex positive, and like Max is standing there, and he's like, as a feminist, I think sex positivity is great.
He's such a cornball.
He's so gross.
Sorry, he's so corny.
Yeah,
he was. So
then we
corny.
see
such a moocher,
just all bad. Next, we see Whitney with the coach, and clearly they just had an activity.
Relations.
Yes. So then he's like, I like your skin tone. She's like, what? You like my skin tone? And he's like, I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. But, you know, he's just saying like, you know, what, I don't know. What is he supposed to say? She's like, well, don't call me chocolate or something. Yeah. And he's like, I do. Oh, and I think she talks about like having a fetish or something. And he says, well, I do like your looks as opposed to other people's looks. And she's like, well, you can have a soccer fetish or something. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So then we are back at the suite, and Max and Kimberly are in the common room.
Oh, jeez.
But earlier they were like walking, and she was like, I love you, and a kiss, because they were all like, they couldn't believe. I think they felt very bonded, because I think they're in places, you know, new places, and I think they talked about people being rich or something. Yeah. So anyway, then they're in the bed, and they decide to consummate
right in the common area,
the relationship. Yeah. Gross. So next morning, she's getting ready to go, and he's like, I think we need to be free. And she's like, okay, yeah, free from what? He's like, from each other. But by the way, he has no shirt on, but he looks like he has a shirt on, because he has a hair sweater. He has
it was thick.
Chest hair, shoulder hair, arm hair.
There wasn't a spot without. I couldn't look past that. Sorry. It
went up to his collarbone,
so
like a collar.
Ugh.
I mean,
yes, like
there
a
was
werewolf.
no. I
Poor
wonder
guy.
if that was real. We should look that up.
Somebody better
tell me there was body,
get some laser, or did he have transplant?
What do they call it?
Time for a little treatment.
Yeah,
a little nair.
What do you think it was real?
I think it was over the. I'm going to say that they added some layers to that for the character.
I hope so.
But yeah, to be that hairy at 18, 19 years old.
Yeah. So
anyway,
I think, do all the roommates come in and realize he broke up with her?
Yes.
I can't remember. Yes. And they're like, get out,
Yeah. And she's like, basically, I don't want to see you again, the whole thing.
Yeah.
She had to get down to Sips.
She did. And she's at Sips in the next scene, and she's fired up, So a group of boys walk by. Kanan is sweeping, and the one tool throws his garbage right on the floor in front of him. And he's wearing like an Essex sweater with the button down underneath.
Like straight out of Cape Cod or something.
Just like bleh, gross too. Like
from the crew
gross,
team.
Just as gross as Max, but on a different end of the spectrum.
Like, I really can't stand people like that.
No.
But they played the characters very well.
Yes, they did. So Kimberly just goes off, and I don't have everything she said, of course, but she was like, "You and your $100 jeans," or something. He's like, "These were more than $100." I knew. And then at the end, she's like, "No pants should cost more than $40." I was like, "That's right."
Yeah, come on.
Ridiculous. So she stood up.
I really like this side of Kimberly.
I did too. And she's
fired up Kimberly.
Yeah, she stood up for Kanan, and you could tell he was like, I think he appreciated it. So she makes the guy throws it out, I think, in the garbage or something.
Yes.
Thankfully. So then we see Whitney jogging on the streets. Yes. And she runs into the coach, who has a grocery bag with him. And he does look a little awkward, but he's like, "Oh, hi." You could tell, but they are in public and stuff. And then a woman's coming
toward them
and is like, "Babe."
Yeah.
And it's his wife named Michelle. Okay. WTF. And she does.
He looks like really young too to be married.
He does look young. Yeah.
He looked young to be a coach to me too. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seemed like the same age group as Whitney.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. Maybe he's just fresh out of college.
But yeah.
So then.
It was like,
Whitney,
I don't get to meet this. Is this the soccer player? Like,
and then she like realizes who her mom is.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm a big fan and all this. And Whitney makes a comment. And again, I should have written this down about
something about like,
it's glad to finally meet someone I've heard so many things about.
So many times, like a name with a face.
Yeah.
I've heard.
The way she says it was
over and over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little dig.
It was very good. It was good. And she runs. Girl. She runs away because she is jogging. And she starts to cry.
Yeah.
Feel bad. I forgot. Okay, so then Bela, I forgot to mention this part. I'm not sure if this happened before they show Whitney jogging, but Bela is like going to see if she made the cut for the magazine. The first round.
I remember that scene, yeah.
And she's putting in her earbuds, and she's like, it's her going, Bela, like being all positive. I don't remember.
You're amazing and great.
You're amazing.
People like you, or something.
Something like that.
Like the guy on SNL.
Yeah. So she's wearing. She was wearing a Clueless type outfit, by the way.
Totally, I'm telling you.
Like lavender sweater and like a little skirt and something. And she's pushing her way through the little crowd, and she makes the cut. So hopefully, she impressed them at the party.
Oh, indeed.
Great.
Apparently.
So, I mean, my first thought was, oh boy, she only get it because of what happened.
Right.
So then I think we see Whitney jogging. Then Leighton and Bela are coming out of like a shop, and Bela is eating a donut,
right?
And asks Leighton if she wants it, and Leighton's like, "No, I don't eat for enjoyment," but like just throws it out like almost under her breath, like it's very funny.
Well delivered.
Yeah. So they run into Nico and Corey. Corey is a stick. He is a stick figure. I think he was skinnier than both of the girls. I mean, I don't know. Not into him. My taste.
It's the vibe, the personality.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I like Nico's personality.
Yeah.
More.
But so Corey so I think Nico's like, Leighton, you remember Corey? And she's like, yeah, we played like flag football or something in the Hamptons. And Bella's like, oh my God, that's the whitest crap or whitest SHIT. And she's, Montauk. Sorry, they were Montauk.
Of course, Montauk.
Which is, And
basically.
She's like, I mean it as a compliment about the whitest SHIT. So they're flirty. Like Corey and Leighton are a little flirty. And he offers, he's like, I'd like to give you a campus tour sometime. And she's like, oh, I might. Yeah, she says something back. Yeah. And Bella's like, is that offer for me too? And Leighton's like, no. Then Bella, I don't remember if they invite her to a party. Then they invite them to that.
Yeah.
There's going to be a frat party at their house. They're in a frat. When I was in school, we did not call it frats, by the way. We just called them fraternities. But
fraternities.
I think they're calling it a frat.
I don't know. They weren't really, they were kind of corny.
Oh, we had
my school.
No.
Yeah, they were okay. It was more about the sports, like the jocks than.
No, not at SUNY Albany. We didn't have any great sports teams. So, yeah. Fraternities and sororities were it. At least in my world.
If you were in a sorority, sorry. That was...
Yeah, shut up.
You were totally a sorority.
I'm also like 10 years older than you, so... I think they got kicked off campus at this point because of hazing, all right?
You're like 7 years older, right? No?
I don't know.
Either way.
I don't like to think about it.
I went to school in like a whole nother era.
I did.
Did you have a typewriter, Jackie?
I had a word processor that had a strip. It had a strip so I could see the words, okay? I did not have a screen. So, yeah, there was a lot of big changes between you and me. Okay?
Yeah, you were doing the Oregon Trail. You had dysentery.
My email. Anywho, let's get back to
the show.
Let's get back to the show.
So he lifts up his shirt somehow, right?
Bella, of course, is like, oh, lift up your shirt, shows your abs. Like, she's like, girls going wild constantly. Yeah. And he's like, oh, he turns around and he's like, shows it to him. Bella's like, oh.
And it's no.
Oh, dopey. I know. He was so skinny.
Dope.
So Bella comes in. This is, oh my God, I love this part. So Bella comes into Whitney and Kimberly's room, and they're both obviously depressed. They're watching their iPads, that Leighton gave them. And she's like, come on, Whitney, we got invited to this cool party, and Nico's friend is even hot. Corey is even hotter than Nico. No.
Yeah.
But
no, that's a no.
So I don't know what, I guess Whitney says. Yeah. Mistaken.
Sorry.
So I don't know what Whitney's response is about going to the party, but she doesn't want to go or whatever. And then she asks Kimberly, and she's like, I'm watching this Brazilian documentary about a snake who ate a boy.
It's like the best line of the whole
I don't know. That killed me. I was like, I have to watch. I actually replayed it. Yeah. So I had to hear her say it.
Yeah.
It was so funny. So I don't know why. Oh, I think she's just like, come on. They decide to go. Yeah. And they get, I love this part too. They all get dressed up, and I think they like did the door in slow motion as it opened,
love it.
And then they like sped it up so we could see other outfits.
It's totally what you did in college. You got all dolled up to go out.
Yeah. At 10 o'clock at night, right? Yeah, freeze.
Just getting started. At my bedtime.
Whitney's wearing, I don't remember who they show first, but Bella's wearing like a dress. Is she wearing like a full-on strappy?
Almost,
no,
right?
hers isn't hers is not sparkly.
Was it Whitney's that was sparkling?
Whitney had a sparkly top on, and and silver, and then like a skirt. Bella, to me, was wearing something you'd wear in like California, like I don't know, like a strappy dress. Again, they're in Vermont, and
but again, this is how we dressed in college too.
Yeah, true.
It would be like 40 degrees out, and you don't have a coat out.
No,
because
of course not.
God forbid you brought a coat to a party.
That's not.
Where are you going to put it?
No, exactly.
Or
you don't want to lose it.
After.
And you also want to look cool. And you don't want to worry about, because you're going to be drunk, and you don't want to worry about any extra accessories other than like
yourself and your handbag.
Yeah. We didn't have cell phones when I was in college, so there were no cell phones. Were there cell phones when you were in college?
They just started.
Okay. No. Kids had beepers, pagers, maybe some of them.
Yeah. I feel like, it was, I think I had like a flip phone. That's where you paid like per text message back in the day.
Are you Gen X or no? What generation?
I went to college in 2000.
I don't know what generation anybody is.
Millennial, I guess. No, Gen X is
you are not. You're a millennial?
Yeah, I'm a millennial. I was born in the 80s, girl.
Oh my God, I'm
Sometimes
a Gen
I feel
X.
like you think that I'm like really young. I'm
No.
gonna be 40.
No. I thought you were older than that. I didn't think you were a millennial. I feel like you're not. Anyway, all right. We're digressing. Okay.
Oh, wait. Am I a Gen X? I better look that up. Keep going and I'll look it up.
All right. You look it up. So, I wanted to go through their outfits. Okay. So then, and then Whitney looks really good. She's wearing, I love her dress because that is like a totally 90s dress. It's off the shoulder with some, like, but still had like straps. It was black. She looked really good. Kimberly did look good. I think she did have corduroys on though, but I'm not sure. But she had a blouse on, like it was satiny, like burgundy brownish, something like that. And then she had her hair slicked and she had some lipstick on. So she looked cute.
She's cute.
Cat. So then they go and there's like a line, a huge line, like they're going to a club. They even have like security. I think they have the rope, velvet rope.
Like the rope going.
Yeah. So they're standing there, and Kimberly is really angry because she wanted to bring her anorak, and they did not let her, which I thought was funny that she called it the anorak. And
you know, she's freezing because she's from Arizona, for crying out loud.
I know.
I mean, I'm imagining she's from like a warmer part of Arizona. So
yeah. Well, I don't think there's a cold part, is there?
Well, yeah, there's parts that are colder, right? Flagstaff, right? Or
I don't think that cold.
In the mountains-ish. Okay. Anyway,
there you go.
It's a desert.
She's from Gilbert.
Mostly. Okay.
She's from Gilbert, wherever that is. I don't know. So it's real though. So then Nico sees them, or Leighton sees her brother or something like that, and he's like, "Oh, yo, let them in." And they're like, "Woo." So then they get to like cut everybody and go in, and Leighton's like, "Oh man, I forgot my phone. I'll be right back." Well, they leave. We see she does have her phone, and she looks like she's texting. So then she walks away. They go into the party, and it's like they think it's so amazing, and you just see everybody like they have solo cups.
Never been out.
I do think they're the most overdressed, which I was happy with. I would been too, but you know, everybody's hanging out and dancing. They're just like, oh my God, like they look very obviously like just in awe.
Yeah, they had like a full on bar. Like that you look like
they did have a bar.
You know, they had a bartender. Like
they had a bartender. Yeah.
They had like bars on like a legit bar in this frat house.
It was cool. Yeah. Whitney actually and Kanan's there. He looks looking cute. They kind of exchange some looks. She peeks at him, looks at her. So then they go up to the bar to get drinks, and Kimberly's like, "No, wait, this is open container," and she's like talking about drugs, you know,
roofies or something.
Roofies, yeah,
spike.
And she's like, "Do you have?" Yeah, she's like, "That would not stop me from drinking at that party, though. Probably." She's like, "Do you have
bring
any?"
Your own a lot of times, unless it was coming from a kid.
Oh my God. She's like,
"Well, I had to see. Do you have any? I could, you know, like I could see her point of view in this. Just saying."
But it's free alcohol. Well, actually, sometimes we had to pay at frat parties, like fraternity parties. Okay, what? Anyway, so then she's like, "Do you have any?" I don't know if she says cans and like or wine. He's like, "Yeah, we have a wine list."
Some Zimas.
He's being sarcastic. He's like, "Let me get the wine list." So she's like, and then Whitney's like, "This is fine. This is fine." So they grab the cups, and Kimberly turns around and she gets a text from Max. And he's like, "Just checking in on you." Like, that's one text. And then the next text is, "Can I still use your Netflix password?"
Yeah, right.
So all of a sudden, a guy doing a keg stand falls on top of her. And she lands in beer.
Ugh, gross.
Totally just, like, down on her flat. And she gets up. She wants to go home. And I don't know if she goes up to Whitney and says she's going. And Whitney's like, "Do you want me to come with you?" She's like, "No, I just want to be alone." And she's leaving, and Nico sees her, and he's like, "Oh no, you know, like, what's going on?" And she's like, he's like, "I know you." And she says, "Yeah, I'm your sister's roommate." And he says, "No, you were checking me out on the first day of school or something." And she's like, "Oh yeah, well, that's a natural reaction." You know, he's like he's joking with her. So he's like, "Why are you leaving?" And she's like, "Well, you know, I didn't have my anorak." And then she says about getting the beer all over her.
Yeah,
it was pumpkin ale. She's like, "My boyfriend broke up with me, and I'm pretty sure he stole my deodorant," which was funny.
He looks like somebody would do that.
Yeah. Yes, he does. Oh,
gross.
So then he's like, I'll get you something dry to wear. So Theta can save face. I guess that's another fraternity. And she stinks. I guess she smells like beer. So then Bela is spying on these two girls because they are on the Catellan. They're the two females on the Catellan, and she's like peering around the corner, is nervous to go up to them. So she goes up to them and she's like, "Hi," and the one girl calls her a freshman, SLUT, and then the other one's, and she walks away, and the other one's like, maybe before you, what with those guys, you should have found out if any of them had girlfriends.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh man. So she wants to leave. So I think she goes to Kimberly and they say bye to Nico. So then, I forgot about this part. So then Whitney, why didn't I write this part down?
Oh, about
Whitney goes up to Kanan.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what she asks him, but she's like, can I see your room? And he's like, what? And she's like, I want to see your room. So he's like, oh, okay. Duh. So then they walk away or something. And then now we see Leighton. And she's at a casino.
Yeah, because there's casinos in Vermont,
right? I don't know. Did she
that you can
the border
drink at?
to Canada or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, she looks old now. She's sitting there and she has a drink and she gets another one from the bartender. And she is on her phone scrolling, and we see that she is scrolling women. So I was like, oh, I guess, and then all right, where's the part? Yeah. Oh, and she's scrolling and looking at women, and Kimberly.
Yeah.
So texts are showing up on her phone, making sure she's okay. And she's like, this is Kimberly, your sweet mate from Arizona. Just keeps texting her and explaining who she is because she thinks she doesn't know who she is. So yeah, she's scrolling the women. I'm like, oh, there's the wall. There's the one the friend said, you feel like you're a stranger. Like, oh, hello.
Right. Clearly living another life.
I thought
whatever.
I thought about this too. Now that I'm thinking back to when they had to say, the guy wanted them to say, the FAF wanted them to say their fears. And she was very wanted to protest it. And I'm like, maybe that was part of that. Also right when she was going to protest it, the guy stood up and said he was gay and hadn't been out in high school. So I thought that was interesting. And then we do see she is hooking up with a woman. It looks like in a hotel room. I don't know.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Like a much older woman.
So I was like, I was surprised. It's a much older woman.
That's not the ending I thought of. Or
no,
what?
I really was like,
what was going on with her?
Interesting. Yeah. Not so predictable, which was good.
Yeah.
So I'm digging it.
So far, so good. I'm into it.
Yeah.
A little laugh here and there. Drama. Whatever.
And we'd love to hear from you guys, to hear what you think about the show. And even about our show here, about this show. And you can email us at homebodiesonly@gmail.com. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
See you next time.
See you next time.